Hi everyone, my name is Sachit Jani. I'm an educator, public speaker, writer, and the founder of Beacons Academy. And in this video, I'm going to teach you how to create an environment where children can learn and thrive and use effective communication in English. Now, most of the Indian schools, especially private schools, we need to create an environment where children not only can speak English, but to create an embed when they talk, otherwise, to create an effective communication. And how do we do that? How do we develop an effective communication within our school? All right, so here I'm going to take you step by step and show you how we can do that in our school. Here's the number one thing: know your student. Well, what does that mean? What it means is, understanding the capacity of each child, because each child is different. Everyone's learning capacity, their learning pace, their interests, it's different. And if we want to create a long-term impact and good results and helping the children to improve their communication, we must know them very well. What I do when we have children from different backgrounds and from different places, what we do is we try to understand their native language, where they come from, what kind of family they are, what kind of learning pace that they have, do they have any problems at their home, and how do they learn, do they have any particular interest, and do they have any particular difficulty in learning a language? Because once we understand them, it's easy to help them out. Okay, so for example, imagine I have a particular disease, and I show different kinds of symptoms, but nobody know what kind of disease it is. Okay, so I have fever, I have this breathing trouble, and I have all sort of different symptoms. And when I visit the hospital, the doctor do not just treat the symptoms, but instead they try to find the root cause, because it is absolutely necessary to find the root cause, because if we find the root cause, we can remove all the symptoms faster. And that is exactly what we need to do. We need to understand why children do not learn English language. And in order to do that, the first thing we need to do is to understand what is happening in our students. And how do we know that? How do we understand it? By understanding them. Now, you could have a small general survey. You could just take them through some survey questions or questionnaires, asking them a few questions, and having some beautiful, fun, entertaining conversation, one-on-one conversation that will help you to understand the kids. So imagine you have a big school, and you have around 400 children, and if you are if you're confused how to understand each of these kids, because we have 400, you may also have lots of teachers. So assign a particular class to each teacher, and ask them gently, give them some general instructions, and ask them to go through this process. And by understanding the kids, we will be able to create a huge impact. So that's number one: know your children. Now, once we finish the first step, the second one is to personalize a learning plan. Personalize the learning plan. Now, what do I mean by personalizing? When, for example, when you buy a new laptop, you go through, you change the configuration of laptop. You might change the search engine. You might change some of the settings. Why? Because you want to use it for your personal use, and what's the best way for a laptop to be, or what kind of look it must have, because it's your laptop and it's your interest. And if you want to use it in a and have a better experience, you need to personalize it. We all do this. We personalize our home. We know, if you just look around, no neighborhood is the same, no houses is the same, because we personalize it. No relationship is the same, because we personalize it. So that's the same thing. We have to personalize the learning, because we know each kid is different. So once we understand the kids, now create a personalized plan for each of these kids. Now that you might think that might be a very daunting task. No, it is not. If you know how to personalize it, and if you use a certain particular methods and technique, it won't be a difficult task. It might be the best one which gives the best results. So how do we do? Normally at pro speaker programs, what we do is, once we understand the children, for example, X child has this, and Y child has this problem, and X child has this interest. Once we know this, and it's easy to personalize it, because usually a majority of students have a particular interest. So for example, we assign reading particular readings, we assign particular books, we assign particular time of the day. For example, certain children love reading in the morning, certain children love reading in the evening. So all we have to do is to create a small a forum where each of the kid can, for example, if X kid has an interest to read sports news, then the best way for the child to learn English language is through giving them text related to sports. So by just doing that, we will personalize it. Now, some kids requires more time, some kids requires less time. Some kids requires speaking a lot. Some kids requires reading a lot. So we need to personalize the time. So create a time system, not just allotting 20 minutes or 30 minutes to all kids at the same way, because that might not work very well. So just personalize the timings. Because when you personalize the time, okay, this kid requires this time, so just give that time. Just like different, fauna and flora, or different plants requires different amounts of water. Your kids requires different types of learning and different ways to learn things. So personalize it. So first one is know your child. Second one is personalize a learning plan. Now the third one is story reading. Now, story reading or storytelling, for example, if Monday is a story reading time, Tuesday can be a story telling time. So story reading and storytelling is one of the best way to help children to improve language. Why? Because everyone loves stories, right? Everyone loves listening to stories. So perhaps you could, as a teacher, you can start telling the stories, or you can also start showing the children stories in televisions or in your digital classrooms. For now, almost every school has a digital class, so you can send them there and give them a story reading a particular book, or maybe you can give them a particular video in which a story is narrated. So when you take them through story readings, children keenly listen and observe, because everyone loves stories, right? Because that's how our brain is wired. Our brain is wired to love stories. So create a story time in your school. Now the next one is create a space where children can do real life activities. At Pro Speaker, what we do is we ask children what they really want to speak about. What are the concerns of these kids? Some kids want to bring changes within the school system. Some kids wants to bring changes within the community. Some wants to address some concerns that are concerning our nation. So, we give an opportunity where they can speak from their heart. And we do this through podcasting. We have live podcasting program, and we have amazing public speaking programs that is conducted within the school, but also the public can view and watch it live through social medias and other platforms. So, it not only improves the kids' learning abilities and speaking abilities, but also it gives them an opportunity to speak from their heart and to stand for what they believe in. And research and after research has shown that such kinds of activities often helps children to develop better characters and also a sense of pride in themselves. So, create a space where children learn to articulate their feelings, their concerns, their solutions, or the things that they want to say to this world through platforms like or through activities like public speaking and podcasting and debate. So, through such programs, we can literally create a huge change. Now, the fifth one is ask the children to keep a journal. Now, the teachers don't have to read the journal every day, but you need to encourage them to keep a journal. Now, it could be just writing a few things that has happened that day, or things that are concerning to them, or things. It could be general things, or it could be things that they love writing about. Anything. So ask them to keep a journal, because when you write, you also get an opportunity to reflect. Okay, so the other thing is when you write, for example, especially a learner who is learning a language, when they speak, they may not have enough time to check the grammar points or to use the right words. So, because they speak spontaneously, but when they write, they have enough time to think and to reflect, and so that it not only enhances their communication, but also it enhances their analytical skills and their character. So, help the children to develop journal keeping. And finally, educate the children about the needs of learning English language. Actually, research shows that having an extra skill, such as having a mastery over a second language, can improve our career path. Especially, it will improve the opportunity to work in different sectors. Also, it provides an opportunity to work in a multilingual space. So, as the world is progressing every day, helping the children to understand the need of learning English language, since English language is spoken everywhere, will actually enhance us and give them a sense of direction and help them understand, okay, if I were to learn these skills, I would be able to travel around the world, I would be able to speak. Such a deep need and desire will also motivate them and work as a driving force to improve their English language. And so we've just given you around six most important steps that you need to take to create an English language in your school. So the first one is know your kid. If you don't know your kid, if you don't understand your kid, you won't be able to help them to improve the language. And the second one is personalize. Create a personalized learning plan. And third one is storytelling and story writing. In my opinion, every kid must have at least half an hour every day to read a story or to tell a story. And fourth one, create a space where children can express themselves through real life activities. And then journal keeping. And finally, educate the children about the needs of learning an English language. So I hope that you've got how to create a personalized plan in your school. And if you have any doubts, please just comment below. Thank you for watching. Have a great day.